I don't have anything right now, do you?
Yeah, I've got a hiss, which is slightly better than a hum, I think. But that may be just because I grew up with tapes.
Anybody listening yet?
I don't think so. Let's see. This may be a lost episode. Till I can get our technical issues sorted out.
We can come back to it. We can do a shorty episode, like 45 minutes or something.
Yeah, let's just do a shorty one.
And talk about Arkham Origins, since I've been playing it all weekend.
Yeah. He was going to talk about GTA 5. He just beat it.
Sweet. There we go. We have relevant games to talk about.
Yeah.
That hardly happens. I don't know if you're listening, Jay, but I'm really sad that we're not going to hear about the 20-year-old game nobody gives a shit about as you drone on for 20 minutes about it. It's unfortunate. People were wanting to hear about the Game & Watch 3DS eShop game you purchased. But nobody played when it was out. But that's kind of his endearing quality, so...
Yeah.
I was at the
edge.
I was at the game store last night, and I was surprised because like 5 people were like, "Hey, I've been listening to your podcast. I really like it." Blah 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 blah. Like, whoever that guy is that like plays the like 20-year-old games nobody gives a shit about. That shit's hilarious. I was like, yeah.
It's definitely very dry, but I feel like that could be a niche too.
Yeah.
There's got to be at least...
I mean, there's somebody out there that wants to know if the
Right, there's got to
Donkey
be
Kong
at least
Game
10
&
guys
Watch.
like him in every city in the country, right?
I'd like to see the download statistics on that game. Like, the Game & Watch games.
Yeah. I don't know. I'll play him occasionally.
Or like that on his Facebook, he's like, "Hey guys, I'm about to play Mega Man 9. All right, welcome to that came out in like 2010.
Yeah. That game's hard as shit though. I've been playing that since 2010.
How's Sploosh Woman?
Sploosh Woman. I haven't made it to her. I've gotten to like.
Do you not get to choose the order?
I do, but I haven't made it through her stage.
Oh, you've tried it, but you're not good enough to beat it.
Yeah, I don't remember the bosses I beat, but I know I haven't seen her because I would remember Sploosh Woman.
Yeah, is it harder than Mega Man 2, but easier than Mega Man 3?
No, it's the hardest Mega Man in the series. Yeah, they purposely made it like super hard.
Why'd they do that for? Just because you waited so long.
Because only diehard fans would be playing it on Nintendo all these years later.
It was like a love letter to the diehard Mega Man fans.
Yeah, like, we want you to have something to play for the next 10 years.
And then they made Mega Man 10, and it was way easier than any of the other games. Kind of went the other way with it.
Okay, so 9 is like the super Mega Man.
Yeah, that game,
the game of games.
That game's fucking frustrating.
I think it's the only like classic game that really hasn't been updated. You know what I mean? Like, there's not like a modern Mega Man.
There's Mega Man Legends.
Yeah, there's not like a good modern Mega Man.
Right,
Mega Man Legends
Mega
is awesome.
Man X, but even that's old.
I'm surprised. I'd like to see like a Metroid Prime-ish Mega Man,
like a 3D, like
first person. You gotta like imagine those boss battles. Like, you'd fight Woodman in 3D, dude.
Yeah,
he's just like jumping all over the level, shooting logs or whatever.
Should be dope.
Wait, did Woodman shoot leaves? Is that what he shot?
Oh yeah, leaves. Yeah. There's like a leaf spiral thing. I think
the leaf shield.
The leaf shield. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and you could like. I don't know, alien hordes are teaming up with Woodman to take you on in a new live-action first-person shooter Mega Man? No, not at all.
I'd play it, man. It'd be like the whole like concept of Mega Man's it's like a weird like Highlander-esque, like you have to murder people and take their powers to murder their friends.
To kill more.
Yeah. Like, you have to strategically like hunt down, like he's like some serial murderer that hunts down like other people like him, takes their powers, and then uses them to murder other. Yeah. He's like Sylar from Heroes or whatever?
Yeah, Sylar.
Yeah, he's like the Sylar of
Robot Highlander assassin.
Robot Highlander Sylar.
Is that what Adrian Paul did? Is he killed like various like ninja Highlanders and got their ninja power?
Well, in the Highlander TV show, if you took somebody's quickening, you took their like knowledge and power like to a degree, and that's why towards the end of the season, like, you know, he didn't really kill any like good people. So towards the end of the season, people noticed he was starting to get like dark and edgy and broody, and they're like, oh shit, he's killed too many like shitty people. So like he's got their, you know, their essence in him, so he's like turning evil.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, it's like a weird plot towards the end. It's like maybe you should have been killing cool, like nice dudes, so you could be a nice Highlander.
Yeah, he should have been engaging in like honorable combat, I guess.
Well, I mean, he was, but he was like decapitating like serial killers and getting their essence in
Right.
him.
He was always fighting bad Highlanders.
It's very
just like in
Nietzsche-esque.
Batman, you either, what is it? You're like a hero until you go a long time, and then you're the villain. That's like the quote from the movie, right?
I thought it was
you either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself the villain or something.
Which is just like a twist on that Nietzsche quote. And
Look in the abyss.
Those who fight monsters should be careful to not become a monster themselves or something.
You gaze into the abyss. The abyss gazes back into you.
Whoa.
So basically, Mega Man gazes into this abyss of like really evil fucking robots and murders them all. And then at the end, he's like, shit, I actually murdered all these robots and I have all their powers. And then Dr. Wily's like, what the fuck, dude?
Right. No one left on the universe but him and his dog.
Yeah. And Roll. His robot sister.
Maybe.
But I guess that is a weird theme, and I've not really dug into that theme of heroes killing people and then becoming the bad guy.
Yeah, I guess it only happens really in Mega Man,
Highlander,
and
Batman. Heroes.
And
Batman.
He was a bad guy to start with. He actually was like the reverse of that.
A Siler?
Yeah, because the more...
Well, okay, so Peter in Heroes, Peter... Because remember, he has like Siler's power, except he doesn't take it permanently. But then
I thought Peter was the fat cop guy who.
No, Peter Spinelli or whatever, the New York like paramedic guy that could also borrow people's powers.
Yeah.
But he didn't have to kill him to do it. So he like got the easy, like the writers like, you get all the perks of taking people's powers, but you don't have to kill people. It's like a cop out. But yeah, so he towards the end of the show, he started becoming like weird because he got addicted to other people's powers, I think.
Weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like, if he took Siler's power, would he get double powers? You know what I mean?
I stopped watching that show when the cheerleader chick started lesing out with the chick from...
Dude, that's when it started getting good. That was the best part of the show.
Yeah, and normally you'd think, you know, that would draw in viewers, but it seemed to push them away for some reason.
Push me away.
I don't know.
All right, so if you're tuning in tonight, this is Nintendo Dreamcast podcast live cast. We're doing this live.
Episode 7.5, possibly 8, depending on how it turns out. We're having technical difficulties.
Yeah. I don't know. Is there still nobody listening?
There's still nobody listening, no. But this is just a test, and we didn't really promote it outside of our own Facebooks, which no one ever reads.
Yeah, I don't think anybody I know is really on Facebook at 11:23 right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we're gonna do a short cast tonight because we got started late.
James is half drunk.
I am half drunk, but I devoured 2 beef and fucking cheddar, so I should start either sobering up or just getting drunk on Arby's sauce.
And delicious. Jay, as you can hear, has grown a deeper voice and has decided to start playing relevant games.
Yeah.
Yes, I've totally given up on Nintendo DS, and now I play nothing but Call of Duty, Grand Theft Auto 5, and anything else that comes out next week.
Aspro for Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yes. I love to drive ships.
I'm really surprised, though, that game is getting the reviews it's getting. It's getting like 90s and 100.
Oh, Assassin's Creed?
Yeah.
I saw a couple 70s, and Joystick made a review or whatever, but...
I don't know, the majority seems pretty positive. Like the average on Metacritic is, I know we could fact check. If somebody's listening, I think it's like 90 or high 80s, which I don't understand because, as you know, I've been playing the new I've been playing the new Batman. Sorry, I'm a little drunk. Batman Arkham Origins, and it's actually a pretty decent game. I like it. It's enjoyable. I mean, any game that you play as Batman, it starts out like if you're doing like a numerical scale, like if you play a Batman game, it starts out at a 5 just for being Batman.
Right.
Yeah, I think it goes up to an 8. I would give it an 8. I don't see why it's getting shitty reviews. It's the same thing as the past 2 games, and people like those, right?
Yeah, I loved Arkham Asylum and Arkham City, actually.
See, I would say Arkham City, Arkham Origins, Arkham Asylum.
Okay.
It's decent. It's decent.
Yeah, I might have to check it out sooner or later. One day.
I think a lot of the flack it's getting is the story's not written by Bruce Timm this time around. Is that his name? Shit.
Okay.
Bruce Timm.
Yeah, of the cartoon fame. And it doesn't have Mark Hamill and what's the guy that does Batman's voice?
Kevin Conroy. Yeah.
It doesn't have those guys, so it's like the heart and soul of the Batman kind of franchise is not there. So,
but the basic playing it then.
The gameplay is good. I mean, it's not like Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill can do the voices forever.
To me, they are the Joker in Batman.
The voice actors they got do really good imitations of them, though. I probably wouldn't know it wasn't them if everybody online hasn't made a big deal about it not being them.
Yeah. Still.
And the main, like as you know, like with Batman, the best thing is the villains, and the main villain is fucking Black Mask, who's nobody gives a shit about. So
yeah, I don't know anything about Black Mask.
I didn't either until I played this video game.
What's the deal with Black Mask? What's his origin story?
I don't know. I haven't got to that part yet. He's like a dude. He's got a black mask. He looks like the Red Skull, but black.
Okay. Is he like a thinker, or is he like a thug? Is he?
I don't really know, because he shows up at the very beginning of the game with the crocodile dude.
Okay.
Killer Croc. Yeah. And they're like, I'm going to pay a bunch of money for people to kill Batman. But Black Mask has never met Batman, so I don't know why he hates Batman so much. Because he's paying like $80 million, which is a lot of money for like, a street criminal to have.
Right. Well, maybe that's the origin. Maybe Black Mask is somebody from his past.
Dun, dun, dun. It's Alfred. It's totally fucking up. I just figured out. Twist. Alfred.
It's Nightwing.
Alfred's like, I can kill you in your sleep, motherfucker. But I'm going to hire a bunch of dudes to do it for me. Twist.
Yeah. So are you liking it so far, though?
Yeah, it's Arkham City, but with a shittier story. But I liked Arkham City a lot. So, I mean, you get the whole sandbox. Like, you get to swing around Gotham City. Random, like, you have like a police transmitter, so random crime pops up, and you're like, hold on. I know there's a bunch of dudes that are trying to kill me tonight, but there is a mugging going on over here. I'm going to go stop it because I'm Batman. That's just the shit Batman does.
Right. Yeah. Just another day in the life.
Nope.
I just bought Arkham City on Steam. I'm excited to play it.
It's good.
Yeah.
I give it like
when
a 90.
You play it on Steam, do you get to play as Catwoman or Nightwing?
Yeah, it came with all the DLC.
Okay.
Stuff for like $5.
Yeah, that DLC is really just shovelware, because why would you not want to play as Batman?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, hold on.
Right.
I'm Batman, but I'm going to be Catwoman.
You can play as the animated series Batman.
Well, that's my beef is with the DLC. You can't put on the alternate costumes until you beat the game, and then you go back and play it again. Because when Arkham City came out, I made a big deal of going out and buying a fucking shitty tasting nitrous energy drink, because under the tab there was a code for the Batman Beyond skin. I was like, hell fucking yeah, if I'm going to play Batman, I'll be Batman Beyond, bitches. And so I like put in the code, and they're like, you've unlocked it. And then I like go to the Batcave, I'm going to put on this Batman Beyond skin, and it's like, you cannot play until you've beaten the game. Then you can play as Batman Beyond.
Yeah, they don't want you playing in a different skin than the one they envisioned for the game, I guess.
Fuck, that's retarded. Once I beat the game, I'm probably not going to go back and play it just because, well, maybe I would.
Yeah. I went back and played after I beat the first one like a couple different times. The different difficulty modes. I think I almost got like all the achievements on Xbox.
I'm not much of an achievement whore. I just play it through the one time.
I'm not normally either, but I really, really like that game a lot.
There was a time I was really big into achievements, and I lost all the information 3 times, so I was done with it.
Sorry.
That's my story on that.
Yeah.
It's depressing, actually. I probably would have like 30,000 or something like that.
Just probably be like number 1 on the Xbox leaderboards or whatever.
It would be a bunch because I wasn't the only one playing. It's actually me and 2 other guys, and they were renting video games constantly. So basically, my Xbox ran for 4 years straight and got nothing to show for it.
I'm surprised.
But that's okay.
Surprised it didn't red ring. After like 2.
I know. I'm totally surprised myself.
I don't think we've actually. Did we properly introduce Tommy?
Hello. Oh, this isn't Jay. That's Tommy.
This is Tommy. Yeah, you may remember him from the background of episode 0 and a little bit in the beginning of last episode.
For you, Nintendo podcast, Dreamcast, whatever called, continuity nerds out there, you will recognize him from episode 0. The prequel episode.
Or you may hear me walking around occasionally, for I live next door to
the pitter-patter
the famous
of little
studios.
Tommy feet.
Yeah. So thanks for filling in for Jay, Tommy. And
hey, no problem.
Jay went to the dentist today, and for the first time in like 20 years or something.
Oh, I got to do that, man.
Yeah, I haven't done it since like 95, I think.
Like, I got teeth
Sure.
that got to come out. And they hurt like fuck, but they only hurt like every 2 weeks. So it's like you feel fine for 2 weeks, and there's one day where you're like, I can't go to sleep, fuck. And then you wake up and you're like, oh shit, it's not hurting now. So the day that my teeth start hurting for more than like one day at a time, I'll probably end up going and getting them all extracted. Oh, that would just be the worst.
I don't think mine hurt anymore. I think they just kind of like make me sick sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, or the sinus area.
Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah.
It's so expensive too. It's not cheap.
Thanks, Obama.
Yeah.
It's super expensive.
Will Obamacare cover my shit teeth?
I don't know. Probably.
I feel like it's a shitty deal that America like shoved Coca-Cola Classic down my throat for like 10 years as a child. And then all my teeth fell out. And they're like, nope, we will not replace those teeth. It's actually more conducive to your Coca-Cola lifestyle because you don't have teeth to worry about now. I actually do have teeth. It's not as bad as it sounds.
For sure.
I just have a couple of shitty teeth.
Maybe
In
we
the
could
back.
start a class action lawsuit for
Coca-Cola?
yeah.
Coca-Cola
against Coca-Cola.
probably should give me fucking new teeth.
Right.
Yeah. Well, now that the government's paying for our teeth, maybe they'll sue Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
Obviously. I
And
mean,
then
whatever.
after we do that, then they'll have a disclaimer on it on each 2-liter.
That could be like a stimulus. They could open up a teeth factory, the government. Everybody wins. Make new teeth.
Yes.
Help the economy.
They could teach people how to put them in, dentists or whatever, Make new dentists. Go to dentist school.
Yes. So, what did I play?
Yeah, man, what'd you play?
What have you been playing?
Pretty much the same shit. Playing Rogue Legacy some more.
Yeah.
I'm like at a level 130 or something now.
Is it high for the game?
Yeah, that's pretty high. And I started The Walking Dead.
Season 1 or
Speaking of
whatever.
games from 2010, yeah. And started playing that because my wife likes watching me play that. So
She likes watching you play.
yeah,
Nice.
there's a couple of innuendos.
You're like, you want to watch me, baby? And she's like, I want to watch you play Walking Dead.
All right.
I was at the GameStop and they have like the Vitas out or whatever, and I guess there's a new Vita bundle that comes with like on the memory card it comes with the first season of the Walking Dead games. I didn't know they were on. I guess the Vita's pretty much a console, so
Yeah,
I didn't know they were on that.
yeah, and
that game is on everything. Every phone option you could have. It's on Xbox Live.
It was the same price as just like the regular Vita. I was like, well, maybe, and I was like, wait a minute. At the end of the day, I've got a Vita, so I don't know if I really just play it on something else.
I'm playing it on Steam, which with the controller, and it's kind of fucked up because it puts up, because there's a lot of quick time events in that game, and it puts up the keys that you're supposed to press. But I'm
hit Z, hit Z,
and then it'll switch like 10 seconds to the button.
Yeah,
like so you have like half of a second to make the decision with the actual button prompts on it. So that's gotten me killed like 20 or 30 times.
Ooh. Not to change the subject, but I remember what I do like about Arkham Origins is, in the previous games, when you fight bosses, it's usually a slew of button smashing quick time events. But in Arkham Origins, they've actually implemented, the like free flow combat that you do with like the thugs and stuff on the street. You actually have to fight the bosses, and they're actually really difficult fights. It took me like a day to beat Deathstroke because he's like a master pugilist or whatever, and he's got a sword and stuff. You actually have to fight him. There's no quick time events or like where throwing barrels at him until he falls down and then jumping on his back and smashing X. You actually have to fight him, and he just kicks the shit out of you repeatedly. So I do enjoy the fact that the boss battles are by far the best in the series. It's just a shame that the boss battles are so good with such shitty villains. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, go on.
No.
Our little wisdoms of Batman will spurt out throughout the episode.
No. Definitely want to hear about as much about that game as possible. I was going to get Blackgate, and then I saw the reviews on it.
I saw the reviews too, man. What's up with that? Because everybody that like previewed it and demoed it, like, this game's going to be awesome. It's the new Metroid.
And then it comes out in 6.5, 7. Yeah.
Wah, wah.
Yeah.
So you should just fucking buy Marvel Lego. It's getting like 9s.
It doesn't look like a terrible game from the reviews, but it doesn't look as good as I thought it was going to be.
Marvel Lego or...
No, I don't really pay attention to Lego games.
I don't either. Everybody I've had some people text me like, "Hey, did you pick up Marvel Lego?" Because I'm a big Marvel nerd. I was like, I would, but I played Lego Star Wars like the first one. It wasn't very fun. So.
Right.
I'm not a 5-year-old.
Supposedly they've gotten a lot better since those first ones.
Well, it just seems like, because I played like 2 or 3 different ones, it just seems like it's a video game that's designed for a fanboy to sit down with their kids and play the video game together.
This is what Daddy like.
Right.
You're trying to play Lord of the Rings. Legos. Lord of the Rings has some dark shit in it, man.
The Lego game?
I'm sure the Lego.
Oh, no, just the books.
Not quite so dark.
I reread them recently. I don't know if you want to talk about Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, we can talk about
we talk about whatever we want, right?
This is a freeform podcast. We don't have a picky listener base yet.
So when I first read, there's not like anybody listening. When I first read the Lord of the Rings, it was, when I was like 10 or whatever. I got the books, read them. They're pretty good. Didn't put much thought into it. I reread them last year, because like The Hobbit was coming out. I'm like, it's been a long time since I read the books. And I read them like, this is pretty cool. And we got to the Return of the King. As you know, Frodo and Sam, they're in Mordor, whatever, and then the spider thing, bites Frodo, and he gets captured by the orcs and taken to the tower. And as a kid, I didn't realize it was a fucking rape tower. I don't know if you've read the books, but like Sam goes up there and he finds Frodo and he's naked, like chained to the wall, like crying, like the orcs like torture. I mean, why did he have to be naked?
I don't remember that at all.
No, it's fucking, you look it up on the internet, man.
It was a rape tower.
Well, didn't call it a rape tower. I don't think they had that word in England in the 40s yet. Rape wasn't invented.
I'm sure they did.
But so Sam like charges in, and Sam is like aghast because Frodo is chained to the wall naked, and he's like bloody and beaten and like teary-eyed, and he's been in this tower full of fucking orcs. I don't know if you know anything about orcs, but I assume you don't. There's not a lot of orc women running around. You don't see any orc women. What do you think they did with the like little Frodo dude? What would you do with Elijah Wood if you're a big fucking orc dude?
I'd probably strip him naked and rape him.
Yeah. And I think the reason like Sam is so like heartbroken because you like his whole spirit just breaks is because Sam has been in line for that for like the entire series. Like he was gonna get a piece of that at the end, and the fucking just giant orc dicks ruined that shit for him. You know what I mean?
It was all tore up and loose.
Yeah. He's like, I should probably just get a gummy from Gollum at this point. It would probably be as enjoyable.
Precious.
And at the end of the book, you know, they're like, and everybody sailed off, but Frodo's wounds never healed because you don't come back from fucking orc rape. It's like the Middle Earth Oz. Like, hey, you know, they're like back in Hobbiton and like everybody be hanging out and you just like look over and like Frodo's sitting in his chair, you know, just drifting off with like a single tear. Sorry, I got a little dark, didn't it? Anyway, that's what I imagined happened. I was pretty surprised.
Okay.
You know, and like Gandalf sees him and he's like, oh, Frodo. It wasn't because a spider bit him, that's for sure.
Yeah. I never picked up on that, but you're probably right.
You know, maybe I imagined it, but I'm pretty sure that's in there.
That's what you wanted to have happen.
Yeah. It's like chapter 10, the rapening of Frodo by the orcs.
It's totally the name of this episode.
Yeah, and if you notice,
rapening.
like, after that, like, you know, Sam's like, I can carry you, Frodo. He's like, don't touch me. Nobody touch me.
Goes and cries under a waterfall shower.
He just, like, holds himself. That's some dark shit, man. But I do not think that scene's in the Lego Lord of the Rings.
Should be.
Whew.
Damn. So,
what else are we going to talk about?
So yeah, Walking Dead, played that in La Mulana. You ever heard of that?
Mm-mm.
It's like one of those indie darling games. It's
Never heard of it.
Did you
Like
ever play
Hotline Miami? I heard that game's good.
Yeah, it's not like Hotline Miami at all. It's kind of like, it's more of a side scroller. Hotline Miami is like top down shooter kind of game.
Yeah.
You ever play Spelunker back in the day or seen Spelunky?
Mm.
It's one of those games where you go down and you explore these like endless catacombs and there's like crazy fucked up traps and puzzles in every level, and you have a whip and a computer that you can install various software on to like scan like all these idols and like weird glyphs and shit like that to figure out what the puzzles are. I don't know. It's super fucking difficult. Like every screen has like shit that drops you onto spikes or like weird surprises that just kill you randomly.
Yeah.
So
what's the password for Flora Wireless? I'm trying to Google, did Frodo get raped?
It's Flora House. All one word.
Okay. If you're listening, if you want to drive over here and steal some internet.
Yeah. Be my guest. We got plenty to share. As long as you don't live near us.
Get raped by orcs.
I used to have it open back before everybody had computers, and our internet would just like gradually, like every year, we would have less and less internet.
I bet.
So eventually, I was like, "Fuck it." Oh, we got slapped with a couple of DMCA notices where they accused us of like pirating shit. So.
Well, you would think with something like that, maybe I'm incriminating myself, but I'm thinking with something like that, you would almost want that open at that point without a password and be like, oh, I didn't realize that was happening. That could have been anybody.
That was the idea, and that worked for like three or four times. And then the ISP instituted like a policy, like if you do it like 3 or 4 times, they're just going to kick you off the internet permanently. So,
sorry. All right, you ready for this?
Yeah.
All right, I did a little internet detective work here. There's an article on Frodo Lives called "Everything But My Pants." It was an inside joke after the Rankin Bass animated version of Return of the King was released. The movie showed the orcs gloating over Frodo stripped of the mithril shirt and the ring, but very obviously still wearing his pants. The joke came from the ridiculous token's original dialogue would have sounded under those circumstances. The dialogue reads, "They've taken everything but my pants, Sam. Everything I had. Do you understand? Everything but my pants." Yeah.
That's all that turned up on Frodo Rape, though?
No, this is like a fucking article about how Frodo probably got his butthole diddled by orcs.
I'm gonna say there's got to be at least like 1 million works of fan fiction. Like,
yeah, but that's all like.
I was
Oh man, here's an article about the real story of Frodo and Sam, and where Sam attacks Frodo, and they speculate, does Sam want to rape Frodo? Is it the ring Sam wants? All right, let's go on. Sorry, we might have to just discard this entire.
Like the ring's like symbolism for the anus.
Yeah, it's an anal ring.
Put it on your finger.
Yeah. Your penis disappears.
That's totally what it is. He was a sick man.
Gollum kind of comes off as like.
It's like a creepy old pervert,
or like a dude that's been raped a bunch under a mountain. It burns. It burns us. It rapes us, precious. Goddamn, sorry.
It doesn't use KY jelly.
right? The pain was so bad, it's like his mind created a second personality.
Yeah,
just to deal with that.
Yeah, he does come off as like kind of a weird rape victim. Oh man, some say that he was indeed raped by orcs. It isn't entirely possible that such torture did occur. But yeah, I mean, we could go on. If you're out there and you're really into this, just Google it. There's a lot of articles.
Yeah, if you're really into that sort of thing, I'm sure you have Googled it already. Okay. So, do you want to talk about GTA 5, Tommy? At all?
Let's do it.
Sure, I
Probably
guess.
at least less rapey than Lord of the Rings.
Not a whole lot less. You'd be surprised. I'm all about adult games and craziness and stuff like that. As an adult, I appreciate it. And even as like a 16, 17-year-old, when those were really coming out, I liked them a lot. And I can honestly say that this is the first game that no kid under 16 should ever be playing. Ever, ever, ever. It's definitely as extreme as it gets. I don't know if that's because like laws were further defined on what you can and can't do and stuff like that, but
it's because Jack Thompson gave up on life. And
Who's Jack Thompson?
Isn't that lawyer that
oh yeah, he got disbarred.
Got disbarred for like making publicity cases out of every single video game that ever came out?
Yeah.
Right. Well, I mean, after you do that so long, no one listens anymore.
All right, when Bully came out and there's that scene where the two boys kiss, he accused it of having homosexual eroticism in it.
Did he even read Lord of the Rings, man?
I don't think so.
But no, I just beat most of the story without giving it away. Like, you get a bunch of options at the end. Not a bunch. You get like 3 options, and one extends the game a little bit. So I haven't played like the little extra story at the end. But going through the game, like I thought it was going to be kind of weird having 3 different characters that you're controlling at the same time and stuff like that. But it actually works pretty flawless. Like my only real objection with the game is it might be a little. It's still a little, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, not janky, but like kind of
buggy,
stiff. It still feels stiff. Like every Grand Theft Auto. It's like you can do all this stuff, but it doesn't feel very free. You know what I mean? Like when you aim at somebody, you're not actually doing much of the aiming. You just kind of lock on, shoot, things like that. I'd kind of like to see that get fixed, but. Having said that,
it doesn't lock onto their heads though, right? I mean, if you really want to get a clean shot,
you could turn it off
up
too,
a little bit
and stuff like that. But
it's the same way in Red Dead Redemption,
right? But having said that, like I feel like it's a lot easier to drive than it was in 4, and 4 kind of scared a lot of Grand Theft Auto fans, I think. And I think that was a good move of bringing San Andreas back because that's the one that everybody really remembers. The online stuff it's pretty cool. Like I love the ideas behind it, but it seems it's definitely not for a passive gamer, somebody who's just going to do it every once in a while, a weekend warrior or something like that. Like it's pretty advanced, and you definitely have to be on your game to be able to pull it off in multiplayer, because a passive gamer is just going to give up immediately. They're going to get shot in the head one time in 3 minutes and then done. So to make it brief, Grand Theft Auto, I love it, and now I'm going through and hitting all the side missions and stuff like that, and my whole goal was that this game was good enough that I wouldn't have to buy a PS4 or an Xbox One until at least April, when I figure out which one I want, and I think it fills that void very nicely.
Cool. Do you think you're going to keep playing it? You beating it, or?
Oh yeah.
Awesome.
I'm definitely not going to 100% it. That's a little ridiculous, but
it's like we got a listener.
There's somebody on there.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Sorry that you're listening to this.
Yeah. So that sounds cool.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be hard pressed to get a next gen system. I don't see the launch titles being anything. I read the reviews of Assassin's Creed 4, and they played them on PlayStation 4. I guess that was the review copies that they got, so they got to go out to the studio and play them. And then when they got back from the studio, they played the current gen, and there's like little to no difference. So yeah, I think it's going to definitely be next fall, next holiday game season, before we have to go out and get a new system.
Yeah, definitely. At least that long. I don't know. I'll probably wait like 2 years, like I did with the PlayStation 3.
It depends on what games are announced.
Yeah. Looks like there's going to be a bunch of exclusives if the publishers are to be believed. Like Titanfall, that's going to be only Xbox One.
Right? I'm fine with that. The game doesn't look very good to me.
Really? I think it looks pretty good.
Looks like a game in which you shoot people in the future.
Yeah.
Drive giant robots and shoot people.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I mean, it could be cool. I have a really hard time putting any faith in the first round of games that come out for a new generation system. The one I seen that I kind of liked was Dead Rising 3, maybe. That seemed pretty cool because I like the first two. And the first Dead Rising, I believe, came out pretty much the same time the Xbox 360 came out.
Yeah, it was at least in the launch window.
But but other than that, I don't really see anything that catches my eye.
I think there should be some good stuff there, because if you notice this holiday season, we're getting a bunch of shit. So we're getting like the dregs of the last of the generation. So everybody is reading, with the new Batman, people are like, why isn't Rocksteady make it? Because that is a big point of contention with fans, is that it's not made by the same studio that made the first two, and it's because Rocksteady is busy making the next generation Batman one. So yeah, I think it'll be pretty good, because studios aren't making a major push right at the end of this console because they're already at work. The next, bunch of games.
Still, I mean, most of that work is just figuring out how to use the dev kits, and you won't see a lot of improvement, and they won't figure out how to squeeze all the juice out of the hardware.
I'll be curious to see if the games that come out next holiday season are going to be dual releases with the current gen consoles like they are now, or if by this time next year they're like, Arkham Asylum 4 will be PS4, Xbox One only.
I bet there'll be like a couple of AAA titles on each system that won't be dual release, and most of them will probably still be dual release.
Right, or at least like a major delayed release between the two.
Yeah.
Well, what else we got? Well, anything? We're hitting the midnight mark.
Yep.
On this test cast.
For the one listener, hopefully next week the audio quality will be better.
We'll put it up on Reddit, give it people time. People can tune in. I mean, if you're just tuning in, you've missed out on Hobbit Rape. That's pretty much it. That was a big chunk of the episode.
Yeah. And you can find our regular podcast at
NintendoDreamcastPodcast.com.
Nintendo. No, it's not. That's not that easy. It's
Sorry.
Podomatic.com/Nintendo Dreamcast, I think. No, NintendoDreamcast.podomatic.com.
There we go. We don't even know our own shit.
Yeah, well, fuck it. So you can also find us on YouTube under Nintendo Dreamcast.
Did we get any mail this week?
No mail.
I saw Danny. He started listening again.
Good.
Yeah, we got him back. We got Danny back.
Yes.
If there's anything that I've accomplished this week, it's fucking got Danny back.
Welcome back, Danny.
We got Danny and we still got Z-Melts.
We should have them both on the show.
We should interview
Z-Melts, if you're listening, write us an email. We can get you on like Skype or whatever on the show. And then Danny, I can make him come in. And then we could like have them face off in some kind of trivia game where they both have to answer Nintendo Dreamcast trivia.
Nice.
And then the winner becomes #1 super fan, and the other one, like in Highlander, dies.
Right.
Nice.
Danny could take Z-Melt's quickening,
and then we'll start a new tournament to see who will challenge him.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll do that. I think that'll be like our holiday Christmas spectacular. Danny and Z-Melts fight to the death.
We should do that for our 1,000 downloads episode spectacular.
Yeah. All right.
Because we're about to reach 1,000 downloads.
All right. Well, maybe we could do that. I'm going to talk to Danny. You write Z-Melts since you're the only one that checks the email. We'll make it happen.
Yeah, we'll definitely do that. And I don't think we have that much news to talk about. There's the NVIDIA Shield.
Yeah, isn't it just like a streaming box now?
Yeah, it adds a console mode where you can just kind of plug it into a TV and use it as a console.
Yeah. It's irrelevant because nobody's going to buy one.
It's improved the PC streaming. Super Castlevania 4 coming out for the Wii U eShop.
Also irrelevant because it's not Symphony of the Night or any of the awesome DS Castlevanias.
4 was pretty good.
Blech.
That's definitely my least favorite out of the ones you mentioned. But yeah, that's it.
I've tried to go back. Remember when they re-released like Castlevania 10 or whatever on the PSP? Maybe it wasn't 10, but it was like one of the Super Nintendo ones.
Rondo of Blood.
Yeah, and they like gave it updated graphics and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to play this. I'm like, oh, it's not Symphony. You know, it doesn't have the Metroidvania feel, so it just...
Right, you have the same weapons for the whole thing, pretty much.
You're just playing like a
platformer.
I'm not interested in that.
It can be pretty cool if you get into it. Like the dude has like all kinds of moves that you have to figure out how to do. And
one thing I did want to mention is the first DS game has hit the eShop.
Which one?
Advance Wars Dual Strike. It's a special in Japan right now. I think it's like a Nintendo. I think you have to redeem coins for it. But
really?
Yeah, but it's definitely, that sets a precedent that I hope going forward we're going to see, because there's a lot of DS titles that you just can't find anymore, and like some of those old Castlevania games on DS I would love to pick up in the eShop. So them putting out one game shows that they're capable of doing DS emulation through the eShop. So
yeah, is it fully functional? Mm-hmm. Like the wireless stuff works? And,
I don't know if the wireless works, and I don't know if you can like home screen it or what. You know what I mean?
Actually, I don't think the first Advance Wars had any like Wi-Fi shit on it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about the
Nintendo Wi-Fi.
Yeah, I know you can play the game though.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, so hopefully we see that moving in the future. Yeah,
I wonder why they're doing it like that, just as like a coin reward. Why wouldn't they release that on the eShop?
My guess is they're testing it to see how successful it is, or see if it works on the software.
A want and a need basis too, maybe.
Yeah, and they're probably hesitant putting those games out because there still are a lot of like DS games out in stores. I'm guessing they don't want to just cannibalize that market.
I mean, how is that different than having new retail games on the eShop?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know Nintendo's mind, man.
I don't know either. I'm just it's curious.
Maybe Nintendo owns a stake in GameStop and selling those $50 DS cartridges.
Yeah. Did you see that thing I posted about the Pokemon detective game?
Yeah,
Blue talking Pikachu.
I didn't even read the article. I just looked at it and was like, fuck that.
You love Pokemon.
If it's not called Pikachu Peek at You Detective Agency, and then it'd be very disappointed. Peek at You Detective Agency.
Definitely missed opportunity there. And yeah. Then we have 2 new ones.
There's 2 new listeners?
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. You guys, if you're just tuning in, you missed me eating 2 beef and cheddars on air. It makes a really weird sound when my beard hits the cheddar cheese and moist roast beef.
Yeah, it sounded like a boot stuck in a mud hole.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, actually, I don't think we were live for that.
Oh, well.
But, yeah. I think, I don't know, unless you want to talk about Frodo Rape some more.
No, we're good. If you're just tuning in, you did miss out on the subtleties of Tolkien's rape scenes in The Lord of the Rings, but you can download the episode and listen to that if you want.
So, yeah. Thanks again for joining us.
Yeah,
Tommy.
you're coming in the tail end of it. I think we're about done, right?
And for our regular listeners, please, again, go to iTunes and rate us 5 stars or whatever.
I think it's the point where I'm going to make up an account and just do it.
Because we still don't have an average rating. I don't know how many you need to get an average rating, but I really want one.
People should rate because as one of the 2 people that rated, they gave me a chance at the chair. I'm actually on the air, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, and you too could win that prize.
That's right.
Actually, I didn't know you'd even rated. Thanks.
Sweet.
All right, so
It's kind of like we did pad our own reviews.
yeah, and you can write us at Nintendo Dreamcast Podcast at gmail.com.
That's right. Send us an email. And what we're going to do is next Wednesday night, we're going to do this live cast again, but we're going to let you know ahead of time and let you know the time. And that way we can get a lot of people on here. You could live chat, ask some questions.
I'm going to buy the right cords.
Yeah.
And hopefully we'll get it hooked up to the computer properly rather than I'm just using the ambient mic on my computer right now. So it should be better. Should be cool. I'm going to try to figure out what the hell's wrong with our recording too for the people who are downloading this and listening to lots of hiss. Sorry about that.
That was me hissing. All right, guys, later.
Bye.